Alright folks, today we are going to talk about the water distribution tube that's in the block here. This is my 1938 Plymouth, and I have a spare water distribution tube here ready to go. Had my rad out because it needs service, so I thought, well, I got to do the water pump, and it was pretty crappy, so I'm glad I'm changing that. And then I thought, well, you know what, behind the water pump, right in here in this area, is the water distribution tube. Right there, it's partly out. I'm going to show you how I got it out. I was kind of lucky in some ways, because I had a spare here, and I built my own pillar tool. I saw somewhere online somebody had done something like this. I took a flat piece of steel, however long that is. What is that? Probably almost 3 feet long. It's only a few bucks at the hardware store. And I ground it like that, and I angle it. This is ground on an angle here. And the reason I ground it on an angle is so when you go inside the water distribution tube here, and you angle it up, it bites. See how it's biting in there? You don't grind on an angle, it won't come up like that. So then you've got to pull it. Well, some people get real creative and make a puller. I'm not a welder, I don't have a welder here, so what am I gonna do? So I just clamped some vice grips on there and thought, well, I'll try it. I'll just tap the vice grips with the hammer. Now, I'm not saying everyone can do this, but it worked for me. My tube was in good shape. So that's in there now, and I'm just tapping here. It's coming out. You see it? Okay. So, the good news is I got it out. And the more good news is that the tube was in really good shape. Turns out it's brass. So this engine in my 1938 here is it's a 1954 model engine, and it's got a brass tube in it. You can see the brass coloring here. And I don't really know the history of this engine, but I have reason to believe everything is stock, and it's a low hour, good condition engine. But I had read nightmares about these water distribution tubes getting corroded, and I was looking in there with a flashlight. I couldn't tell. It's a long ways to see. I didn't have a scope or anything. So I figured I better take it out. I gotta take it out because we don't know what kind of condition it's in. So knowing what I know now, the tube is in really good shape. Good news is it was brass. I heard earlier ones were steel. So they must have changed up to brass to stop the corrosion problems. Problem is, it's brass, it's soft. And there's where the hole is supposed to end. And my puller tore the brass apart here, here. In the very beginning I tried just the end, and that split apart on me. So regrettably, this is kind of not reusable. But I thought, oh well, you know, you live, you learn, right? I have a spare tube to put in there, because I bought one like 2 years ago from an aftermarket supplier. Well, sadly, for me, it's the right length. It's exactly the same length. You know, it's gonna go in there probably, but look at the thickness of the base. That's the top part. The new one I bought is thicker, quite a bit thicker, and I'm not going to be able to hammer that in that hole. It's only going to go in that far, and then I'm going to start beating on it, and I'm going to destroy that tube trying to get it in there. So here we are with another delay now, because I got ambitious I figured I better check out that water tube, and I kind of regret that now, but oh well. I'll put in the new one. A friend of mine is going to resize it for me. He's going to cut it. We're going to match the old one. So there's a lesson on water distribution tubes. How I got mine out. I don't know if you'll be able to get yours out like that, because they're generally really corroded up pretty bad. See where it goes right there behind. That's where the water pump mounts. So there you go. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing. We're going to find a way to make it work. Unfortunately, it's in the middle of prime cruising season, and I'm going to lose some more downtime driving. I hate that, but you know what? The rad was overheating anyways at 100 Fahrenheit outside, so either I'm going to park the car and work on it, which is what I decided to do, and leave it till the summer temperatures cool down in September, or just forge ahead and get this done. That's what I've chosen to do. Have a good one.